We've got,
There we go.
got it. All right.
Hey, Travis.
Brandon, I can't jump on your three-way because I'm jumping from one call to the next and now onto this Zoom. So, but I see you there. Brandon's like, can you jump on a call in 15 minutes? And I'm like, I'm on one right now, but I've got another one. Oh my goodness. Look at that. I see Mr. Denny here. Denny is back in the house. Welcome back, Denny. It's good to see you. This is going to be a very informal call tonight, guys. It is definitely not a formal call. It's an opportunity just to kind of come together and chat a little bit about crypto. We're going to go over some basics. I think tonight where I'm going to start is I'm going to show everybody just a very simple process. I'm going to go through the DebtBox back office, and then I'm going to show everybody a little bit about what everything means, because I get a lot of questions that are centered around, what does this mean? And I don't know how to withdraw my coins. And so we're just going to start there, and then we're going to kind of see where the conversation goes. So yeah, just give me 1 second to share my screen and I'll be right with you. All right, Chandler got his technology figured out. So he was having an internet problem, but his internet's back. His internet went down on him, so he was freaking out, but he's good. So let me go ahead and get into the DebtBox, and we will go ahead and start there. All right, so first of all, I want to tell everybody that there was an announcement that just was posted a few minutes ago in your back office that says that we are currently out of stock. And it created a lot of panic because everybody's like, what do you mean we're out of stock? Like we don't have any more of these licenses. Like we don't have any more debt to sell. We don't have any more Explorer to sell. So out of stock and sold out are two totally different things, just so that you know. So from time to time, IX Global will have to purchase more inventory from the DebtBox. And when they do that, the system automatically triggers these notices when we get down to, it's all tracked automatically. And so it's just letting us know that we're out of stock. They've already placed their orders this morning. Debt will be assigning those licenses over to us. Usually that takes about 24 hours to happen. And so you may notice that if for some reason you purchased, let's say, some Nat G rentals and some Explorer rentals, you might notice that Nat G rentals were assigned today, but we're waiting for the new stock to come in on your Explorer. So just know that as soon as the new stock is available, they'll be assigned in your back office. Anytime that we've ever had or been in the middle of a transition like this, usually what will happen is it might add an extra day to the assignment at most, and sometimes you don't even notice it as well. So we typically tell people, and this is a very good rule of thumb, anytime that somebody is buying a license, we tell them 3 to 5 business days to get their licenses assigned, just so that in some cases, if we have a ton of people that are buying and it takes them a little bit longer, the goal internally, just so you know, is 48 to 72 hours. But I always believe that it's better to overpromise and underpromise and overdeliver, right? So I always tell people 3 to 5 business days, and that does not include weekends. So there is a little bit of a waiting period because we're not just dealing with a product that's simple to set up. What happens is you're buying the product. A lot of times a wire has to come in. Some days we receive literally 300, 400, 500 wires that'll come in a day. So the wire has to come in, and then somebody has to manually process those wires. On the crypto side, just so you guys know, if somebody ever pays with crypto, that process is automated. So it happens a little bit faster when somebody is purchasing with crypto. But when there's a wire involved, the wires come in, and then you fill out that type form and you submit the type form, and they go through that process. And so that's why we ask for that extra 3 to 5 days. What they'll do is they'll go into your back office and confirm the order, make sure that everything matches with the money that you have sent. And then from there, they will request that the license be assigned and ultimately be added to your back office. And that's done on the DebtBox side of things. And so it's a little bit of a complicated process. That's why we ask for those 3 to 5 business days. So don't panic. And if it's usually, even if there's an out of stock, something that pops up, the 3 to 5 business days will cover that. So you may see some licenses come in just because they're already readily available while we're restocking on the other side of things. A lot of people are asking how we're looking on the dead inventory. We're actually getting pretty low on the dead inventory right now. It's interesting how when all of a sudden that token went from $10 to $20, everybody was like, maybe I should buy one of these debt licenses. And so we've noticed a big spike in the debt sales, and that's a pretty exciting license to have. Sarah asked me to just share this because not everybody necessarily knows this when it comes to this particular license, but there are a lot of perks that come along with the debt license that will happen periodically throughout the year. For example, each month they will have different offers where you might be able to gain access to a license prematurely before anybody else, or you might be able to purchase that license at a discounted rate. When the rates start to go up on the licenses, you'll be able to still access the earlier price points for a period of 60 days, even after the rates go up in some cases. And so there's going to be a lot of perks. Jason told me that the perks alone are worth around $10,000 over the course of the year if you are part of that debt kind of private community. So just so you know, there are still some left, but they're starting to run low. Explorer is selling like crazy right now. A lot of people are very excited about the Explorer project and some of the announcements that are going to be coming up here soon in January. I also get a lot of questions about Nat-G and price points and those type of things. And so I want to just talk a little bit about that here before we get into back office. And then I'm going to turn it over to our star here, which I think Chandler has joined us tonight. He can cover some of the how-tos and the do's and don'ts when it comes to enrollment and passwords and those type of things. But one thing that people need to understand about pricing and these type of ecosystems is everything is cyclical. Everything that goes up must come down. When it goes down, when people are selling, it drives the token value down. And then when it comes down, the market buyers that we have, they take the money that they have and they look for the opportune time to be able to execute the burns. And then when they execute those burns, it sustains the value. And in some cases, you'll start to see the values coming back up again. November and December typically is the lowest points in any market in the industry, because what's happening? People are selling because they're either A, taking their profits, or B, they need money for Christmas time. So you have a lot of that's happening as well. And Nat-G in particular, I was actually just having a conversation today with the owner, and we are entering into kind of a second phase where we're starting to enter into a very exciting, or a much more exciting time with the burns as we go into the new year. You guys are going to be hearing about that on January 14th. And so, I've always told people that I like Nat-G from an accumulation standpoint. And the reason why I say that is because it still pays out more tokens than any other project. But on the other hand, that project is more of a long-term mindset. I look at Nat-G really as a it's always been a 2 to 3 year project for me. I want to accumulate as many tokens as I can. And then I think that the people that are sitting on all those tokens are going to have a really nice surprise one morning when they wake up and they start to see some excitement happening there on the Nat-G side of things. So just know that what goes up must go down. Everything fluctuates. There's a difference between price and value. Bitcoin right now is priced at $16,000 per token. Eric Garrison, you're one of our resident experts, I would call you, when it comes to cryptocurrency. Let me ask you a question real quickly. Let's talk about the price of Bitcoin. Would you say that the value of Bitcoin is $16,000, or would you tell me that the value of Bitcoin is much higher than $16,000?
Much higher than $16,000.
But the price is $16,000 today. How can that be?
Supply and demand. It's all about how the cycles work in the market. The valuation of the coin is much higher than what it's sitting at right now. And there's a lot of factors that push volumes and prices down, and other markets can kind of control that as well. So a lot of that's artificially done that way. But the overall value of what the coin is worth and the project and everything is much higher for sure.
Yeah. And so a lot of people get panicked, or they panic when they see a little bit of the values kind of go down a little bit, or one project performing differently than others. Just know that, to me, what I believe is a really good indicator of good things to come is our utility token that represents our entire community. And if you're looking at what's happening with the debt token, Eric, how would you explain that? And because I don't want to be the only one talking tonight, so I'm going to take advantage of people that are here that have really good knowledge. How would you explain pairing, what would you, how debt is paired to each one of these tokens? What would be your way of explaining pairing and how a rising tide raises all ships?
Sure, and that's really what I try to explain to people is overall debt itself. If you understand how the overall ecosystem of this works, I call it an umbrella. Is really what I call it. You have the main coin, which is the umbrella, and these other projects itself are built under that umbrella. And the main primary coin for this is the debt coin. When it gets into the exchanges and starts getting more of the attention of the markets and the different things, that shows interest in that particular debt coin itself, which in turn, then when it goes up, everything else moves with it. And then that starts allowing the other projects, the other coins and so on to start getting some recognition as well. And it kind of starts a domino effect. And that's what's so exciting about this, you guys, in my personal opinion. We're right there on the cusp of the DebtBox coin going to that level with the exchange level. And here we are now sitting with these great projects, great opportunities to rise with that. And, Travis talks a lot about timing. And I share that sentiment with this. The timing is phenomenal with where we're at with this for this opportunity to move. And that's what I try to teach my team, teach others that are involved in what we're doing, or those that are sitting on the fence right now. We can have a major move at any time, with some of these. And so those that snooze are kind of losing on the whole deal is the way I look at it. So
Absolutely. Eric, how many licenses do you own?
Combined myself, I have 350. And then my family, which I've been involved in, we've got probably about another 60 to 70 there. So over 400 together combined.
So I share that with you because I want you to see, number one, and Eric is very, he's very well versed in this space and does understand the trading side of this business. And he owns 400 licenses. So I think that gives you a good validation of just, somebody that understands this industry and how excited he is. So I appreciate that, Eric. Thank you for sharing. So let me just ask the question, why is there an increase in price on the licenses? So if you missed the Monday corporate update call, moving forward, the licenses are going to include the hosting fee. So you're going to see that $60 fee now that's going to be included in the license. Obviously, the licenses from the past, we still have to take care of the hosting fees. And, the way that it was originally introduced, and I do understand that this maybe was not passed down sometimes from, if you have somebody new that's joining the business and then they're bringing in somebody new, sometimes information was not relayed properly. But essentially the way that it was introduced was DebtBox was a physical box. Sarah, do you have your physical box that you can show everybody? Kevin and Sarah are like the only ones in the entire company that have the actual physical DebtBox because they won it at an event. And the idea was that we would all have these boxes that look like a router that hosted up to 20 different licenses on each one of those boxes. And they would also be given the opportunity, the alternative to do virtual hosting, which is what we do now. For those of you that don't know, we do our hosting through Amazon. Very reliable. I think Amazon servers maybe have been down one time. I think I had heard over the last maybe couple of years. So you can see Sarah there in her shiny little white box that she's holding. You haven't done an unveiling on that box yet. Does everybody?
We're gonna do it. I was thinking about this weekend.
Yeah. So we're gonna, she's got to do an unboxing on it so here's what happened. As you guys know, inventory or getting materials right now around the world is crazy. Like trying to get, little chips and all these different things that make these things up. And so basically what they said is, until we have the ability to offer these boxes, we're just going to pay for the hosting for everyone because they wanted to be able to give people an option. They wanted people to be able to either buy the box or choose the hosting. And so they said, we're going to go ahead and just take care of the hosting until these boxes are available. Well, unfortunately, it just kind of kept getting pushed back and kept getting pushed back. And of course, we exploded as a company. And so Debt was paying $500,000 a month in hosting for all of IX Global's members every single month, just to pay the hosting fees. And so what they did is they came up with a VBox, which was a virtual box solution. And that virtual box solution was just introduced. And of course, that now is available. And the way that is going to work is if you buy a box, and I think the boxes are, I think they're $1,000 right now. Is that right? Is there $1,000 for the box? They did a pre-sale for $750 during December, but they're $1,000 for a box. And it allows you to host up to 20 licenses on that box. If you have a lot of licenses like Eric's probably like, man, I got to buy a bunch of these boxes. I'm sure he's not loving life right now, but you know, the good news is that you never have to pay for hosting again if you do buy the box. If you don't want to buy the box, the way that it's going to work is they are going to send an invoice to the back office for each one of the licenses that you have for $60 to pay for that hosting for the year for any of the licenses that were previously purchased. As far as rentals go, the easiest way to say it is that you don't have to worry. If you have rentals currently going right now, you don't have to worry about the hosting. In the future, when you buy rentals, it's going to be included in the price. They just adjusted the BV, so it's really not going to change the price of the rentals, but they adjusted the BV down so you don't have to worry about it. So I think it's personally much easier moving forward. When we sell the license, we just now say it's $25.60 and that's it. You don't have to have the conversation about hosting. So that's the way that it works. Because it was kind of gray, like we were getting information from debt and it was kind of, no one really fully understood it. Joe said, you know what, I'm going to go in and I'm just going to buy everybody a month of hosting so that we have a little more time to give everybody a little bit more preparation. And so he bought everybody's hosting for the month of January. So we now have until February 4th to be able to decide what you want to do. So if I have one license, two licenses, I'm probably just going to choose the $5 a month and pay the $60 for the year. If you start getting into, you know, 7, 8, 9, 10 licenses or more, you start doing the math on that. It may be wiser to go ahead and pick up a debt license, a debt box, if that makes sense. So any questions on that at all before we move forward?
Yes, regarding the invoice they will send you for the license,
Mhm.
is that going to be in IX Global or in Debtbox?
Yeah, it'll be in DebtBox or in IX Global. So you want to, I know it gets a little bit confusing sometimes when IX DebtBox sends out messages that say, hey, everybody, if you're done, you know, you're done by the 4th and you're shut off if it's not taken care of. And we're like, no, you're not. So they're still working on their communication channels. That's why, just so you guys know, we try and encourage everybody to use the Xnode app and not necessarily the Debt app, because the Debt app is going to include notices that go out to retail customers on the debt side as well. So sometimes there can be a little bit of confusion, but on Monday, what Joe said, and I haven't heard any, unless anybody else has heard any newer information, what I was told on that call was that that they're going to send an invoice out sometime in the month of January. There will be an invoice that appears in your back office and for $60 per license for anyone that does not have a VBox. Now, if you've purchased a VBox, I have already started to see some videos that are out there that show you how to assign your license to the VBox. Has anybody gone through that process yet? Eric, have you seen those videos, or have you done that yet?
Yes, I've done both. I've seen the videos and I've actually done it in my back office. And it's a pretty easy process once you watch the video and you get it set up.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Hey,
So
Travis, I don't know if you saw the question in here, but it says, what if you want to buy a perpetual but have a V box? Is there a way to subtract the $60?
not right now. What does happen is that so you get points. The VBox gives you points each month, and then those unused points you can actually bank. And so you can bank up enough points where, let's say you had 300-400 points and you wanted to take 100 of them, and then you could go sell your VBox and 300 points to somebody else down the road if you wanted to, which is something I actually just found out a few minutes ago. But at this point right now, just because of the system's sake, it does not allow you to be able to choose between one or the other. I would imagine that at some point that could happen. I'm not saying it's gonna happen because they have not told me that yet, but at this point, that is not necessarily an option. So little bit of a disadvantage if you're going to continue to buy licenses in the future, I guess, if you haven't maxed those out. So let me see, sorry, I don't have my readers on, Sarah. You're gonna have to read for me. I'm getting old. I'm a grandpa now, you guys. I can't read that as much, so.
Oh, I know, it's age due. So is there a price increase coming because of the limited quantity for the debt license?
I don't think that we'll see that. I think the debt license will go away before we see a debt increase price on those debt licenses. You know, as you guys know, the debt license has the least amount of licenses that were ever produced, right? I think it was 50,000 licenses total that they came out with, and 35,000 of those were sold. So the plan was to introduce 5,000 this year, 5,000 next year, and 5,000 the year after that. On the wholesale side over here, we only get access to 1,000 of those. Could we see and will we see the debt license increase in value over on the debt side? Yes, for sure. Very rarely do you see the pricing the same on both sides. But on our side, we already know that we've really reached kind of that pinnacle of, we're outside of what our target market demographic is for that price point. That's not us setting that price. There's very little margin in that, just so you know, on the IX Global side. But the debt folks believe that license is going to have a tremendous amount of value. That is the license and that token is going to, the internal goal is to hit Binance this year. And so when that happens, historically speaking, there has been it's kind of like when a company, goes public, right? It's kind of the same type of thing. And so you can see some really exciting things happen to the value of that. And so for that reason, as well as the fact that it's now at $20 per token, that price is always probably going to stay up that high. But I don't think we're going to see it increase any higher on our side.
Awesome. And then there's one more question on here. I'm sorry, Mike.
Yep, that's okay. No, it's informal. This what this call is for, just chatting. So go for it.
The last question on here that you didn't read is, so the rentals we have now are covered for their life as well?
Yes.
Go ahead, Mike.
On the IX side with the V-Box, Travis, I put an order in for my V-Box. Now it's on COD. So can I pay with credit card or do I have to go through my tokens?
You got to go through your tokens or send a wire.
Okay.
So just fire off a
So
wire.
does it take a couple days then?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
And you have until February 4th, so you're fine on it. But yeah, if you want to send the wire in, you're good to go. And by the way, there will be a way to use debt tokens. So if I wanted to just pay for, let's say that I wanted to take a little bit of my NatG, you go into your app and just swap NatG to debt. And then you turn around and you just pay with your debt token, and you can pay your $60 hosting fee that way if you wanted to do that. So that is an option that will be available to you. So you technically are just utilizing the proceeds from your licenses to be able to pay for the hosting. It's $5 a day, or what is it, $5 a month per license. If you think about that, in all reality, it's like a day. It's like a day of mining, or in some cases half of a day, depending on what the token values are doing to cover your hosting costs, which is pretty good. All right. Anything else before we move on? Speak now or forever hold your peace. Okay. So Chandler apparently is continually still having Wi-Fi issues. And so we're just going to keep rocking and rolling. I hope you guys know that this is I'm impromptu right now because I was technically not the host tonight. So I'm just going to kind of roll with it. So bear with me. All right, so you guys, many of you have seen this. If you're new and you're just signing up into the ecosystem, this is your debt back office, your debt wallet. And when you're in here, there's a few things, number one, kind of you can see what's going on with the token values at any given time, and you're going to see that they're up and they're down and they're up and they're down. And it's just the nature of what's going on. People are buying, people are selling. It's the time of the year. I'm going to say this again, you guys have heard me say it on the presentation side of things, but I really am not focused on price right now. That's just not, for me, it is all about accumulation. I genuinely believe that the tokens that you accumulate in a down market, again, we talked about price and you have value up here. And if you're buying right now and the price is here, and you have the ability to be able to hold on to those tokens until we move into, let's say, the next bull run, or as we allow these tokenomics of each of these projects to mature, you have the I have to use the word potential, but you have that upside potential as the value starts to go up. And so for me, right now, it's all about accumulation. I go into these projects with a minimum of a couple of years, 2 to 3 years with mindset. I don't have a crystal ball. None of us do. I personally, my opinion, I'd love to hear, anybody else here that's, really into crypto, their thoughts, but every 4 years, Bitcoin has a halving, and that halving, historically speaking, has always kicked off kind of that next round of excitement, so to speak, in the next bull run. And the next Bitcoin halving is in December of 2023. So I personally am going to be accumulating. My focal point is accumulation through 2023. Doesn't mean that we couldn't see some excitement, especially with these projects and some of the announcements that we have. But I'm really, really excited about 2024. That's kind of where my mindset is right now. Eric, your thoughts on that? You have any different opinion on that, or what are you thinking?
No, my same model is very much around what yours is. I mean, my mindset is just the accumulation side of things. I'm not looking at necessarily the individual value of the coin. I'm just in the process of accumulating the coin and also the nodes over a couple of years is really what I'm looking at. And my whole focus has been more on what I've been doing on a personal level on the business side, so I can utilize those funds as well as adding to my asset base of the nodes and the coin itself. I don't just, I purchase coin too, just letting you know. So I add to my asset side by actually just going and buying the coin on the Pancake Swap, doing a lot of that as well. So I do a little bit of both as I'm building this. But yes, I'm of the same mindset, accumulation mode. Then, going into when we start getting some of those moves and the returns that I'm personally looking for, then I'll adjust things at that point.
Yeah. So when you click on, thank you, Eric, I appreciate that. As we go into the reward side here, you can see different licenses. I'm just going to click on my Explorer license here for a moment. When you are, by the way, there was a glitch a little bit where for like a few minutes, the mining, some people were saying their Explorer licenses got stuck a little bit tonight, just so you know that when it kicked back on, it caught back up. So you're not losing any tokens there, and that they're aware of that. And that is, I think it only happened for a couple of minutes from my understanding is what I was told. But if you guys are in the back office here, what you're seeing is you're seeing real time. You keep an eye on this number. These are your tokens that are actually being deposited real time into your back office. For those of you that are business builders, this is really your biggest asset that you have. Like, just so you know, like in my opinion, I've shared this story a few times, and I'll share this because it could give some of you that are building the business just some ideas. A lot of people, they get really intimidated about the discussion of sharing this with someone else because they don't really know a lot about cryptocurrency, or they don't really understand the concept of mining. And when I first got involved with this, I bought 10 NatG, didn't know that much about it. I've been in crypto, but I definitely wouldn't consider myself a crypto expert by any means. I went out and we have this meeting with a few guys once a month where we get together and talk about different investment ideas and businesses. And we were talking about land and some other stuff, and Chandler happened to be there as well. And Chandler had also purchased 10 NatG licenses. And I just said, hey, by the way, we bought these mining licenses, and we're getting paid in commodity backed crypto. And they all kind of perked up a little bit because I just said commodity backed crypto. Like it was like, they were curious about it. And I said, yeah, it's super cool. Like I get paid literally all day, every day. I just get these deposits that are coming into my account. And I showed them. I opened up my app and I just showed it to them. And I said, do you see this number? I go, these are literally coins that are being deposited into my account that I could literally cash in right now if I want to. I can hold them if I want to, or I can trade them for other coins. And man, you should have seen them. They were just like, well, how do I get that? Tell me more about that. And they started asking all these questions, and I didn't know the answers because I didn't know really anything about IX Global at this point. And I said, I don't know about that, but what I do know is I get paid every day, man. And it's super exciting, but I can send you a presentation that'll explain it a lot better than I can. If you can memorize that sentence, that's all you need to be able to say is, hey, Eric, check this out. Or hey, Sarah, check this out. I get these coins that are being deposited in my account all day long, and I don't have to do anything. My software does it for me. And they start asking you questions, and all you have to say is, I don't know about that, but what I do know is I get paid every single day, and it's super exciting, but I can send you a presentation that'll explain it more than I can. And what was funny was by the end of that night, every single person there bought either 5 or 10 NatG licenses. I wasn't even trying to sell them. And that's actually when I texted Joe and I said, hey, I need to see your compensation plan, because I think we just sold about $100,000 worth of licenses here tonight. So you got to learn to keep this really, really simple. And if you were to ask somebody, I mean, if I were to approach any of you guys, I'm just kind of looking through here. If Kelly, if I came to you and said, hey, Kelly, listen, I've got this software that allows you to be able to generate money every single day with literally out having to do anything at all, would you want to know more about something like that? What would you say?
The answer is always yes.
Like, do you guys, I mean, honestly, drop a Y in the comment section. If I came to you and said, hey, listen, I found a way to make money every single day, on my computer, my software does it, and I literally don't have to do anything. Would you want to know about that? If somebody asked you that question, would you say yes or no? I'm curious. Just, and be honest. Like, what would you say? Kevin's like, absolutely yes. Right? Like, it's so you don't have to overcomplicate it, or you don't have to know a lot about this. And then when they say, well, yeah, tell me more about it, you say, well, look, I don't know exactly how it all works. I'm probably not the best to explain it, but let me show you, these tokens that are coming in, but I can send you a presentation that'll explain it much better than I can. If I send it over, will you watch it? Right? So just keep it very, very simple. And, by the way, nobody said no. Guys, I've never had somebody that said to me, Travis, I'm making so much money, I can't afford to spend it all, but thanks for asking. I'm not interested. I wouldn't be interested in a software that pays me every single day. No one's ever said that to me. So just learn to dumb it down, keep it super simple, try not to say too much. Do you guys know there was a study done in network marketing? And in that study, they found that the network marketers sponsor the most people in their first 60 days. In their first 60 days. Now, I want you to think about that. And the first 60 days is when they know the least about what it is that they're involved with. So why is that? It's not about the words, it's about how you sing the song. It's not about the words, it's about how you sing the song. It's about your excitement for the fact that you've got this software. It's like when I went out there, then I was like, dude, this is the coolest thing ever. I'm literally getting paid and I'm not doing anything. It's how you sing the song and your ability to be able to point and say, go watch this. That's it. That's the secret. And that's the reason why, as people learn more, what happens is we all of a sudden want to start saying too much. And as we start saying too much, we confuse people, or they form an opinion without knowing all the facts, and then they just dismiss it. So just a little tip there when it comes to the business side of things. But, back to the back office here. So, if I wanted to withdraw these funds, what I would do is I would click withdraw, and then everybody turn your head. I'm just kidding. You won't be able to see it anyways, but I am going to put in my password here. And then what would happen is I would have to put in my two-factor authentication. I personally use Authy. I know that some people use Google Authenticator, and that's fine. So I just open up my Authy app, and then there's the number that I put in. So I'm going to put that in, and I'm going to click withdraw. And now maybe it isn't. Maybe I put the wrong number in. Hang on. I can't show you what password I typed, so I can't see it. So hang on one second. And I'm not worried about you guys guessing it, because you'll never guess it. I try to put in new codes here. Hang on a second. So basically you put in your password, same password that you use to log in, and the code updates every 30 seconds. So let's try this again. Why am I
have a question about that too, Travis.
I locked myself out of my account. So now I have to wait a few minutes before I can do it again. I'm sorry. So what normally would have happened if I wouldn't have entered the wrong password, and by the way, the security is super high on these for a reason. So I have to wait just a little bit to be able to try it again. But basically what happens is as soon as I click that withdraw, a lot of people think that they're cashing in their tokens. You're not cashing in your tokens, just so you know. All you're doing is, like right now, this money here, Like you can see, I mined $158 in the last 24 hours. Okay. So you can see right here, the current cycle, which starts at 6 p.m. I've earned about $15 so far today. These are my Explorer licenses. So again, I'm not really worried about that $160 because I'm not pulling that out. I'm excited about the fact that I have 13,784 tokens that I accumulated in 24 hours. And I'll show you why in just a moment. But here's the thing. When you click withdraw, what you're doing is you're pulling the money out of the company piggy bank. You do not have possession of your tokens when they are sitting right here. They paid them to you, but you have to claim them. How do you claim them? By withdrawing them. So you actually have to withdraw these tokens. And when you withdraw them, then they come over into your wallets. And these wallets are now, I'm trying to decide it. Yeah, I'll just move it up. So these wallets, basically, when you pull it, it's going to go into the individual wallet based on whatever token that you withdrew. So you're not losing any tokens and you're not cashing them in. You're essentially just taking possession of those tokens and now they're actually sitting in your own private wallet. Does anybody have any questions or anybody have anything they want to add to that?
Hey, Coach Travis.
Yes.
Hey, this Coach Price. I got a quick question. I see you was getting ready to cash out. I like your back office too. Make sure you and Miss Summer put me on your Christmas list next year. I just met you like 4 days after Christmas. So make sure you and Miss Summer.
I got you for next Christmas, brother.
Yeah, you already know because you added me as a friend. But I know you can cash out at $250, but I'm looking at you was about to cash out before you lock yourself out, and you had about 5,000 in there. Do you always wait till you get to 5,000, or why don't you cash out when it hit 250?
I usually, well, so it's a good question. I'm actually really glad you asked that. So I do a lot of presentations and I do like to sometimes have my balances kind of show up there on the front, just to have a little bit of money showing up there so that when I'm showing people the back office. So I'll usually do it about once every 7 days. I kind of do a sweep about every 7 days, at the most 10 days. I'll kind of come in and I'll pull the money out. It's kind of I know this sounds dumb, but it's a mental thing for me. Like, I like seeing the money up there when I first log in. I actually like to see the balances there, even though I know that it's going over here and the money's just coming in here and I can still see it. I don't know why, I just kind of liked it. So, but here's what I learned, just so you guys know, if people are not withdrawing, it's actually, it doesn't help our ecosystem. It hurts our ecosystem and it hurts the value of the tokens. Because when you withdraw, there's a transaction that's happening and some of that money is going to the burn wallet. And so 70% of the debt community is not withdrawing and they're just holding their money in the piggy bank. That's actually hurting the value of the token. So we want you withdrawing. Everybody wants to be withdrawing because that's actually helping support the overall value of your tokens. So I would say once a week is good.
Once a week. All right. Thanks, Coach Travis. Appreciate you, champ.
You bet. You betcha. What am I missing? Eric, am I missing anything? Do you have anything you would add here, or who else is on? Ricardo, any of those guys, anybody else have anything that you would want to add here?
Hello, Travis.
Yes.
Can we, once we transfer, this is Latanya Deloach, I'm sorry. I think I'm Crypto Queen in the back office. And once we transfer those to our wallet, can we then transfer them to a cold wallet, or do we have to keep them on this wallet? No. So pretty soon, yeah. So there'll be some cool announcements coming at the event that'll be more focused around this, but there will actually be the ability for you to be able to pull these into a cold storage if that's what you would prefer. For those of you that are not familiar with that terminology, a cold storage is like a Trezor or like a device that you can literally take your tokens offline completely, where there would be zero risk of anybody ever being able to hack them, and you could go put them into your safe. You could go bury them in your backyard, do whatever you want to do with them, right? So and that is what a cold storage is. And pretty soon you'll be able to pull these completely offline. For right now, I keep all of mine just held here in the wallet. You'll do notice that I do have them kind of connected to my Trust wallet. My Trust wallet, it's just, it's like another door is the way of looking at it. I can either access the wallet here, or I can access the wallet through my Trust wallet. So you can connect your Trust wallet here. But we will soon have that ability to be able to take these completely offline as well.
Travis, there's a number of questions on here.
All right, let me get to the questions. Hang on. Let me go back here.
Or do you want your readers?
I can expand it. Hang on here. All right. Okay, can we transfer them to a cold wallet? What's the main withdrawal amount to move to a wallet? $250 minimum to be able to withdraw to your wallet. So let it build up to $250 first. Let's see here. Did the tokens still fluctuate in your wallet? So yes. So basically, you know, even it's the same thing as if they were sitting in the piggy bank. Nothing is changing, right? Like you'll see here, like look at my NatGs. So I have 59 million NatG tokens, right? So right now, NatG is worth 0.0002. So let's say that NatG tomorrow went to, I'm going to make this really easy. How about if it just went to $1? Wouldn't that be, first of all, wouldn't that be kind of cool? What would happen to my overall balance if this went to $1? I'm holding 59 million tokens. And if this were to go to $1, this balance would instantly change to $59 million. Do you guys get that concept? It's about accumulation, right? That's why when Eric and I are talking about accumulation, it's about getting as many of these as you can, because if you collect these, and even if this were to lose 1-0, which again, my opinion, this is not a guarantee. I'm not futuring in any way, shape, or form. That's my disclaimer. I believe we will burn a 0 off fairly quickly in the new year. Guys, just burning that 0 off, that's a huge jump in the value as you start to accumulate more and more tokens. That's why, Jennifer, for you, as you're stacking these tokens right now, you know, even as the slightest little move where we go from 0.002 to 0.0009, guys, that's a huge difference as you're accumulating these things. And then you burn off another, and pretty soon you get to a penny. Could that happen? I don't know. Debt went from 0.01 to $20 per token, you guys. Imagine if I'm holding this many tokens and this hit $20 per token. Could you imagine that? You guys realize that's happened over and over in this. I mean, people that were involved in Bitcoin early on. Now, again, I'm not saying guaranteeing that's going to happen, but that's the opportunity. And that's why we're always talking about accumulation. So for me, it's about this number right now, not so much this number. So you'll see this balance go up or down. I've seen, this was, it was 24,000 at one point, then it goes down to 12,000. Now it's back to 16. I don't really care so much about that, because as long as I'm not cashing out, I'm not losing money. It's just about the accumulation, so that when it does go on a nice little run, you're in a position to be able to pull gains out if you want to, or continue to let it ride. So yes, they do fluctuate in your wallet. $250 to withdraw. Yes. Should we cash out rentals before the 30 or 60-day time is up? Once I hit 250, I would probably pull them out. I just withdraw and sweep, just because, again, look at it this way. When it's first paid to you in your dashboard, when we're over here in your dashboard and you're getting paid, those tokens are paid to you. Ooh, look at that. That's kind of nice. What just happened here? Look at the nice little run that all of a sudden starting to happen here, right? So that BGLD, you guys, has just gone up to 0.006. So if we were just talking about, man, we should all screenshot this and post this right now. That looks really, really pretty. That looks like a nice green Christmas tree.
Hey, you funny you said that. I just screenshotted it too.
Did you? Yeah, I'm like, look at that.
Yeah, because you very seldom see everything in the green.
That's nice right there. So what we're seeing, you guys, is, and I, Jennifer, you and I were talking about this yesterday. Jennifer Knoll, you remember me telling you how just get through the new year, get into a new year, and you'll start to see some activity, because we're past Christmas now. You've got some very exciting announcements that are coming. So you feel it's a new season, so to speak. And so you'll start to see some good activity. We also just had the halving with BGLD. And you're starting to see, I think, some of the effects of that as well. Look at debt. Debt's up to 22.76. That's awesome. I mean, guys, this was $11 like 4 weeks ago. It was a penny a year ago. So back to my initial point. Oh, no. Let me finish my thought. So when you're getting paid in the dashboard here, right? Like when you're looking at your rewards and you come in and you get paid here, this money that's sitting in my wallet right now is not, I don't have it. It's like I I can withdraw it, but I haven't taken possession yet. So let's say that the company piggy bank got hacked. That money would be gone because I haven't taken it and put it into my wallet yet. So you want, so this is something that once it hits that 250, yeah, you want to be withdrawing it whether you're renting or not. Where is it withdrawing to? Again, it's just going from here, which is the company piggy bank. It's in a company piggy bank is one big, like, look at it as a liquidity pool. It's just the company moving tokens over here into this liquidity pool. And when you want to cash out or you pull that money, it basically just pulls it over here into your wallet. And that now is giving you full access. It's like now you're putting it into your piggy bank that only you have access to, that only you have the keys to, which that's a very important point. So when you sign up, guys, cryptocurrency is a little bit different. They give you this 12-word phrase. Guys, that's like the key to your safe. Like you do not want to lose that. You do not want, like, you want to put that away somewhere, that give it to somebody else. Don't share it online or store it online somewhere that somebody, if they hack your account or hack your phone, can get that, because that could get them into your back office. But that's something that you definitely want to hold on to. On this point, I need to show you guys something really quickly, because this is really scary and you guys really need to pay attention to this. Debtbox is getting a lot. Sorry, go ahead.
What is that thing you were just referring to, that 12-word phrase? Again, I'm sorry, I didn't catch
Your
it.
mnemonic phrase. When you first sign up into your debt box and you create from, and you're not there yet, I don't think, because of Kelly, because I think you're in the process of going from your temporary password to your permanent password. It gives you a 12-word key phrase that's like the key to your wallets. Does that make sense? So
Yes.
you'll see that as you finalize that process. But I want you guys to see this, because this is really scary stuff. So, okay. There are a lot of hackers out there trying to target the debt box. Why? Because we are on fire. We've sold $1.7 million in licenses. And they also know that a lot of people are new to cryptocurrency and they could fall to these scams very easily. So I want you to see these ads, the debtbox.live, the debtbox, the debt, DEDTDLOX.com. So what these people are doing is, if you were to click on these, and I'm not even going to click on one, these are phishing sites. Every one of these is a phishing site, and it looks exactly like the Debtbox website. And when you go and log in, the first thing that it asks you is to put in your authentication or your phrase or your key, your passwords, and it captures it. And then they now have your information and they can log in and they can steal your tokens. It is absolutely crucial that you know that you are going to the right websites. Do not, like, make sure to always check if you're going through the desktop, the debt, it's always the debt. And they even figure out, like, where do people sometimes, how do they misspell something? You want to make sure that it always says the debtbox.com up here before you go in and log in, or you're going in through your app. Because it's mind-boggling to me that this is even allowed. These are ads that these people have taken out that Google is allowing right now. Now, hopefully they'll get turned in and they're going to work on that. But these are ads of people that literally are trying to capture people's money and people's information. So you need to be very, very careful about that. Okay. Okay. Let me keep going on the questions.
Hey,
I
Travis,
see-
I got a question.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
It's Karina.
I
just want to get clarity. Yes, I just wanted to get clarity. So I did see some notes in here with the rentals. Might be best to wait until the cycle ends so you don't end up leaving any coins below the $250 mark. So
that's actually a really good point. I didn't even think about that. That's actually a very, very good point, because you do have a $250 minimum. So thank you for whoever shared that. I wasn't even thinking about that. That's a great point. You do have a $250 minimum. If you pulled out, like, say, $250 and then you ended up with $60 in there, you're in a situation. Just so you know, I expect to see that changing very soon on the rental side. So
all right.
So that's a system limitation right now, but it is a system limitation that is not going to be there for much longer. So, but you are right. I appreciate you sharing that. Thank you.
Thank you, Doug. And so with that being said, I took it off of auto because I
Yeah, on the rental side. Makes-
have perpetual and rentals. Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Travis, it's Denny.
Hey, buddy.
When we withdraw, do we have to set up these wallets? Are they already pre-set up?
They're all preset out. They're all in your back office, ready to go. They're all sitting there ready for you.
So, and then when we click withdraw, does it take everything that's in there out?
Up to that, they'll leave anything under 250 won't, but yes, it'll pull. Or there, I don't know if it's under. There's like it'll leave a little amount in there. I don't remember how much it is. Is it two? I don't remember if it's 250 or no. It'll leave like a little amount in there. It'll tell you what's available to withdraw, and it'll just pull all of it out, and it automatically moves it right into your wallet. You don't have to do anything.
Cool.
Wealth Army Alliance has had their hand up.
Hey, it's me again, Travis. This Coach Price.
Oh, hey, Coach.
Yeah, I had to ask a question because I got a few people on here scared to ask questions. With the trust wallet, I have the trust wallet set up as well. Is it like when I went in and typed in, like when you go to trust, with trust, you have to add the coins. So if I go in and type in debt or I go in and type in NatG, it don't pull it up. Do we have to import that and put that code in
Yes.
order for it to pull up? Because like right now, if you go in and put Bitcoin, they pull it up. ETH, it pull it up. And I haven't seen a video from nobody in the company showing you how to put that code in.
If I recall, and Chandler was my guy so Chandler's my go-to for this stuff. And unfortunately his internet service is completely down tonight. So he was going to be talking about some of this stuff. But if I recall, and Eric, you may know this, but I think I just had to put in my mnemonic phrase and it actually was able to then link the two.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's
because if you go in there and type in debt, or if you go in there and type in NatG, it won't pull it up. But if you type in Bitcoin or ETH, it'll pull right up.
Yeah.
So that's why I was thinking like the only other option is to put in that mnemonic phrase and it'll pull it up.
But with that being said, make sure that you are in Trust's wallets, real Trust wallet, because I guarantee you there's phishing out there for that too. So just make sure to double check that you are on the Trust site, that the actual Trust site. And guys, and you can always just look, like if you see some weird like link at the top, in the subject bar that says, debtbox dot whatever, like, debt spelled DEBLT, there's going to be a problem, right? Or Trust, same thing. So just make sure that you are just being very cautious and you're paying attention to these things. Sadly, there's a bunch of scammers out there in the world and they take advantage of people when it comes to this stuff. All right, we're going to keep going here. We've only got a little more time tonight. I really like the casualness and just chatting and this type of openness. So maybe we'll do this call more on a more regular basis, Sarah. I think this is kind of cool.
Hey, Travis.
Yes, sir.
One thing I just wanted to say, just so everybody knows, is on Monday, the Debtbox made the announcement that they were going to be upgrading the servers. So that was a news thing that they had came out with. So I just wanted to make sure everybody knows, because I get messages, well, why isn't this working or why isn't that working? But just make sure you follow the news that they're talking about. And I think it's down for like about 3 hours on Monday, if I remember it, Monday morning. So I just wanted to make sure everybody knew that.
Appreciate that. What else? Pancake Swap, Jennifer, is so when we come out with a new project, and so when we first come out with a new project, it has to be listed on an exchange, right? Like that's you have to start somewhere. So all of our coins are listed on Pancake Swap initially. From there, they're all paired to the debt token, which means that the debt token is on, I don't know what, 7 or 8 exchanges now. So anywhere that the debt token is on, you can swap in your app very easily. If you just go into the app, it's really simple to do. You just say, I want to take NatG and I want to swap it for, let's say, the debt token. And then you say how much that you want to do, and you can click swap. I'm now able to take that debt token onto any of the exchanges that debt is on. So CoinGecko, CoinMarketCap, LBank, and I can liquidate from there, right? I can take it from there. And I know that is a confusing process for a lot of people. Chandler is actually, we're going to start doing these calls on a regular basis. I just decided that because I think there's a lot of value to this. And so Chandler is actually going to teach people how to do that and show them that process so that people aren't as intimidated about cashing out. But Pancake Swap, our nodes go on to Pancake Swap. And then from there, debt, we continue to take debt onto a number of other exchanges as well. So that is what Pancake Swap is. And you can see, thank you for whoever just put that up there. You can see all of our projects right there on Pancake Swap.
Hey, Travis, Mike Mahaffey has a question.
Fire away, Mike.
Well, you basically answered it. So if I want to take $1,000 out of my Explorer license in my wallet and just transfer it to debt, how easy is that to actually do?
So I would like to hear some of the people that are doing, I'm going to say how I do it. I really wish we could add Chan on tonight because Chandler's become my guy that I literally just call and say, hey, Chandler, do this for me. Hey, Chandler, help this person out. I hired him specifically for that reason, and he's really competent in that space. But what I do is I actually swap to, I think I swapped to BNB is what I'm swapping to in the debt back office. And so what I'll do is I'll swap to the BNB token. I have a Binance account, Binance.us. And so then from there, it's very easy for me to send that BNB just over to my Binance. And then I can literally sell it for cash. And then I can send the cash directly to my checking account. And there is a video that's actually that I've done showing those steps in the back office. And it wasn't as complicated as people make it out to be. So that's what I do. Eric, what do you do?
Yes, I do exactly that same thing is if I'm moving, you're talking about moving the coin around and so on, I'm using.
Yeah, like if you were to cash out, what would you
cash out? I just use the app. And that's what I've taught my group to do as well, as just use the app. And then I do have a standalone Pancake Swap that I can move coin over to. That's a completely separate part of it. That way I can put them in there. And especially if I'm buying additional coin or whatever it may be, I can use that. CoinGecko, I do a lot of transfer with CoinGecko over into it so I can then purchase the coin too. But yes, I do exactly the same thing.
So I want to show you.
Travis.
Yes.
This is John. I just switch it over to any coin to USDT Tether in the account, and then I just fire it over to Binance. That way I have USDT ready to purchase any kind of new licenses or anything like that. I also realized that you can just push Tether over into your wallet, and then you can buy debt tokens on a daily basis. Like I was buying Bitcoin every day, and I'm like, why am I buying Bitcoin every day? I can be buying debt tokens.
Okay, so let's elaborate on that, John, for a moment. So you just said you can push Tether over, and then you can just buy debt tokens from. So when you say push it, explain to everybody what you're talking about.
So I buy USDT on Binance.
Where do you on Binance.us? Okay.
Yep, and I send it over to my debt wallet, and it comes over into the USDT wallet.
And where would you find the addresses to be able to send money from?
It has a receive address on the debt wallet.
I'm going to show you guys this. I'm asking these questions because I want you to share this with people, because this is good. This is great information what he's sharing right now. So you send it over to your wallet, and then from there, you then
swap. I just swap. Yeah, I do USDT swap over to debt.
Okay. So guys, if you are, let me show my screen here real quick. So when you go into wallets, and I'm going to literally, right here is your wallet. Boom. And I'm just going to share it for a second. But there was your wallet. So there's a wallet, your address basically in your back office, and that's your wallet address. So when he's sending money he's talking about USDT or BNB, he's talking about USDT or Tether. Is Tether showing up on this one or just the?
Yep, it's right on the right-hand side.
Oh, there it is right there. Right here. So you have the ability to be able to send money directly from Binance.us, and he can send that directly right here, and it'll show up here. And then now let me show you on the app. Let me see if it's okay. So now in my app, there is if you go into, and it has to be done on the app right now, but can you guys see at the top of this, it says swap. So there's a little swap.
Sir.
What's that?
Sir.
It's right there.
Yes,
so you
sir.
click swap. And now when I'm swapping, it's going to say, okay, well, what do you want to swap? do you want to swap your debt token for BGLD? That's what's showing right now. Or I could say, you know what? I don't want to swap that. I want to swap. So I could change this to Tether, right? So now I have Tether in at the top, which is USDT. And I now can take that Tether that he just pushed over from Binance, and I can swap it for BGLD, and I can buy BGLD tokens.
Hey, Travis, this is Jesse.
Yes, sir.
Hey,
Jesse Ennis?
Jesse Ennis.
Dude, what's up, brother? Good to hear your voice.
You too, man. Hey, I've done that process many times. So I like that a lot. I've bought in debt, Nat G. I've bought a lot of tokens that way with having money in Binance. Just be careful you send it to the right one, because I've done it and sent it to the wrong one and lost it.
Okay, so tell everybody what you mean by that. When you say right one versus wrong one, what do you mean?
So when you hit withdrawal on the Binance.us site, it'll give you some addresses on the top. And originally we were using one differently when we were doing something a while back, and then they switched it over like to BRC20, I think it's called. I don't remember the exact numbers on it.
Yeah, you have to use the Binance Smart Chain, the BSC.
Yeah, it's
BEP20.
called It's called BEP20, but you got to
which is the Binance Smart Chain.
Yeah, you got to use the BRC, or you'll lose out, because I lost $40 testing it out. So it's
I lost 100 doing that. So make sure you don't send it to the Ethereum one or whatever the other one is.
You don't choose
don't send it to the BEP20. Use the other one.
That's right. No, there's
don't
only
use
two.
The BEP20. Don't use that. Use the BRC.
BRC. It's very important. And always, guys, when you're testing this out the first time, you might want to send a few dollars and just make sure that it arrives before.
Yes, 100%.
Right.
The other thing Travis was going to say is make sure those that do the internal swap with your app, make sure you have BNB in your account so that it covers the gas charges. Okay, so to do it, because otherwise you're going to stumble up and not have it and be able to do the swap within your app itself, and that will confuse you. So very, very important to make sure you have the BNB in there so that you can pay the gas charges.
All right, you just brought up a whole nother thing. There's a lot of people on here now that are going, okay, gas charges, gas fees. What do you mean? I got to put gas in my what? Jennifer's over here right now just going, what in the world are gas?
Hey, Travis, leave Jennifer alone, man. You've been messing with Jennifer all night.
Feeling it, right, Jennifer?
Give her a break.
Jennifer's my girl. She knows. She knows what's going on. So I saw her face when she said gas fees. So tell me what are gas fees?
Okay, so when you have offsetting coins in the exchange, a lot of the platforms, especially now, if you're swapping coin back and forth, they require fees to be covered instead of offsetting what your value of your coin is on either side, which to me would be a smarter way of doing it. They charge what is called an internal gas fee so that it covers that spread of that transaction to make sure that swap transaction gets paid. And what this internal system uses on this particular one is the Binance coin, the BNB coin, to be able to do those transactions. So you've got to make sure you have that in there. There's other exchanges as well. They do the same thing. Like you may see, if you get onto an exchange and you see where it says, hey, you're going to be charged X amount of coin on a Ethereum gas fee to be able to put together a transaction. This happens to be a Binance-based system, and it requires a certain amount of Binance coin or BNB coin to be in there for those transactions to take place. It's just how they cover that spread and being able to do that.
And the BNB coin is the Binance coin, just
correct
is what he's referring to. So you do have to have a little bit of that in your wallet, in your back office, to be able to cover the gas fees, which basically kind of make this go. So, and by the way, guys, I want you to know, when I first got into crypto, I had no clue what any of this stuff meant. You guys have heard me say this many times. Somebody asked me what the hash was. I was like, I don't know. The only hash I had was the hash browns I ate on Sunday. I have no clue what the heck you're even talking about. I'm learning every day. I call my son, who is 23, all the time and say, hey, handle this for me or do this. So So it's a learning process. And what's great is we can have conversations like this. There's people that are on here that know much more than I do, that I'm learning from. And so I appreciate Coach, you jumping in and Eric being here tonight, and anybody else that has, anything of value, Jesse jumping in. We are all a community and we're all learning from each other. And I think that these kind of calls are actually really, really powerful. So Sarah, I really give you props for putting this together, and I like the idea of maybe doing one of these just once a week and hopping on and just chatting about some different things. And I think we're going to probably stop there for the night, but
hey, Travis, it's Brandon. I want to say something.
Brandon, jump in, brother.
All right. So you guys were talking about token accumulation earlier. What I did, okay, because a lot of people, you can't get this natural gas license anymore. Okay. And I only have one. For all of you that are looking at this natural gas, like, you can't get it anymore, go spend $2,500 and get 10 natural gas rentals. I mean, just do it. My wife and I did it 3 different times, and now we're sitting on 25 million natural gas tokens. And that's what I've been pushing people, because a lot of people, you're going to look at it and say, I don't have, because the license prices right now are higher. But when you can go accumulate that many tokens, say you get 10 natural gas token or licenses for 60 days, and you're sitting on 8 to 9 million tokens over that 60-day period. I've been pushing that a lot, and I recommend that to everybody that comes across saying, how do I accumulate some natural gas tokens? I just want to put that in there.
Well, rentals are a powerful way to accumulate. I mean, you think about that. Let's say that a Nat G license is paying out 15,000 or so tokens per day. For $2,500, you can have 10 of those. Well, that's 150,000 tokens a day now that you're accumulating over a period of 60 days. One Nat G rental, that would take you years to be able to accumulate that same amount that you're getting in that 60-day period. So a lot of the collectors also, in addition to buying the perpetual licenses, will throw, at any given time, I always have 10 rentals going on somewhere for the accumulation purposes. And I think that's a great idea. Thanks for sharing that, Brandon. That's awesome. All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in, and we will get Chandler back next week. He's super bummed and not happy right now that his internet went down, but he will be joining us next week and be talking a little bit more about some of the things that people get hung up on when it comes to passwords and little mistakes that sometimes people make. And so we'll be doing some more of these in the future, but I do appreciate the community huddle here tonight and everybody's participation. You guys have
Travis, don't forget to tell someone to put me on y'all Christmas list. This Coach Price. Tell Coach Price, say, make sure I'm on that Christmas list.
Coach, we got you, brother. We got you. You're there, my man.
Hey, man, I love y'all. Leave Jennifer alone. Hey, Jennifer, it's easy. Don't let Travis discourage you, but man, I love it, man. I only been doing crypto for a year, but man, hey, we got 65 people on the call. This our year for greatness.
Yeah,
hey,
awesome.
Travis would never discourage anyone. I would follow him to the moon and back. Seriously.
She's like one of my second moms out there. She's a sweetie. Yeah, but you know what, Sarah, will you share this recording, get it up for everybody? I think this will be a good call for everybody to tune in, and maybe we'll just start throwing this into we'll call these our community chats, and we'll throw them up under guides. By the way, for those of you that are new, go into the IX Global Business community if you haven't done this before, and click on guides right at the top. There's some wonderful, sorry, you look pretty. My wife just came in and looked all pretty, and I had to give her a double look here for a second. So go into click guides, and then when that drops down, you'll see all kinds. Well, I might as well just show you now, because I know I was leaving real quick, but I think there's value in this. So if you're new into the community and you haven't seen this, all right. Okay, so I'm in the IX Global community here. And sorry, I didn't mean to click that. So if you click on guides right here, you've got all these things that are organized in here and a lot of really good information, how to manage your subscription, right? So if you are wondering how to change your subscription or, want to change it, how to buy Bitcoin on Cash App, how to set up an account with Binance. So we were talking about Binance tonight. Here's how you set it up. how to transfer from your wallet. So if you ever wanted to withdraw from your wallets, this question comes up all the time. Here's a how-to. So if you're got a team that you're building and somebody says, how do I do the transfer? Say, oh, just go to guides and look at how-tos. How to enable your auto renew from your wallet, mentoring library. So how do you start sharing this with people? A sizzle call. How do you use the sizzle call to build your business? Keeping it simple, getting started trainings that are in here for you. You've got some excellent trainings by Mike Healy and by Joe about the compensation plan. So all of this is under guides as resources for you. We are going to add another guide now, which will be community chats, and we'll start putting these in there as well. That's all I got. How we do, Sarah?